It's a chilly, right now sunny, but been moist Wednesday morning. As you can see by the looks of the sky, it's going to be moist again here shortly. So this is supposed to be our last day of the rain, and then it's not supposed to be very warm tomorrow, but it's supposed to get better. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, every one of those days is close to 70 degrees, if not even over 70 degrees. That's awesome for whatever the hell. What is the date today? Hang on. The 19th of October. So that's cool, going into the third week of October to be that warm. Got a sticker in the mail. Hey, Snowflake, in the real world, you don't get a participation trophy. Not everybody is a winner. There are no safe spaces. Screaming doesn't make you right. No one owes you anything. Crying doesn't solve problems. Nothing is free in this world. People are going to say things that you don't like, and you are not special. Yeah, well, the nothing is free. The Democrats are trying to make everything free. And that came from Bill Egley. I think it's Bill Egley. Some of you guys got worse writing than me, and I'm pretty bad. Bill's in Pennsylvania. Thank you, Bill. So yeah, it's another day of sitting around and, waiting. Yes, some of you say, well, why didn't you switch back to corn? I don't know, because it rained Monday, it rained yesterday, and it's this on and off. So yeah, you go out, pick a few acres, it rains. Okay, then maybe 3-4 hours later, you go out, pick a few more acres, it rains. No, like I said in previous videos, we're down to the last 140 acres of beans. With the stretch of weather they show coming, we're getting them done, then we'll switch back to corn. So I gotta put some more def in this, put fuel in it, get things ready, whatnot. So yep, I'm not switching back and forth for that kind of weather. I mean, if they just said rain one day, that's a little different story. But so anyways, something I wanted to mention in some of the comments and whatnot, and I'm not going to use people's names, and you be you, I'll be me. That's my favorite saying. But when I talk about this thing, okay, and what my experience has been so far, and I say that I like it better than my deer. I like the ease of it. I like the grain sample and all that. I'm just telling you my experience, okay? I bled green all my life, Here's 3 of them sitting right here. Well, 4 of them, because that one's over there. So the other one's still over on the other road. I'll drive over there and actually see if it's still there, since we left the key in it, but nobody will bother it around here. I mean, okay, if you bleed green and you don't want to believe me that I think the ease of this, setting it up, is much easier than what my S series was, and the grain sample, especially in beans, is cleaner, that's fine. I mean, I'm not going to argue with anybody, but I'm of the theory you get to a certain age and you start realizing that whole brand loyalty or color loyalty has always been a one-way street. You're the one that's been loyal to them, unless you're one of the big mega farms, which are still family farms, by the way. So those of you with your corporate farms, yeah, well, maybe 1% of farms in this country are considered corporate farms. Just because a family farm's 10,000 acres doesn't mean they're a corporate farm. It still could be a many generation family farm. But anyways, maybe some of those that are trading 5, 6, 7 combines a year, maybe they get some sort of special, treatment from a certain brand, John Deere, Case, whoever, New Holland, Gleaner, if that's what they're doing. But us regular Joes who, yes, we buy quite a bit of equipment, but not a yearly, well, there's no, oh yes, you're a loyal customer of 35 years, you get the loyal customer discount. No, doesn't work that way. So, and yes, when you switch flavors, they tend to throw in their fun money, like I've said before, because they want a customer from another flavor to switch to them. But I've always wanted a New Holland. I always wanted the twin rotor. No, I can't afford the new X Series John Deere that come out with the twin rotor. So, $1 million combines. But it is what it is. I mean, you use what you want to use. I'll use what I want to use. But I'm to the probably ending part of my farming career because Chelsea's the last generation of this farm and she has no interest. So, and I'm not going to farm till I can't walk. My body's in rough enough shape now. So I bought one. And so far I've been very pleased with it, other than the bullshit we've gone through, which you have all seen, because I'm going to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I think over the last 2 years, quality control has been pretty shitty for everything, because some of you have told stories. You know, even the green, one of you told a story about how it was just a piece of shit. Well, I think COVID turned everything to a piece of shit, you know. A lot of good people lost their jobs for whatever reasons, you know. Didn't want to, shit like that. And a lot of people got put into certain jobs that maybe they shouldn't have been put into because they weren't qualified. But, so, that's my morning rant on that. The old adage, wait 5 minutes here in upstate New York and the weather will change. It's starting to sprinkle. Yeah, but anyways, one more thing to add to my little morning rant. I don't know why I have my sunglasses on. Because it's dark in here, but I got the lights on. About the whole keeping your money in the USA. Okay, yes, this combine is made in Belgium. Okay. That grain head right there, made in Kansas. The corn head, which still sits over in the what I call the boot of Italy field there, where we started having our issues with the feeder house, made in Kansas. John Deere, yes. Okay, that 8R sitting over there and that 8R sitting over there, made in the Midwest in Iowa. John Deere combines, made in Illinois. That 5115, that ain't made here. I don't know if that's made in Mexico or Germany, but these companies have plants all around the world. So, no, not everyone. John Deere is not all made here in America. And I'm not going to search through this for stickers to see where it says made in, because I know there are some stickers here and there on them that say, and I'm not going to look it up. You all can tell me, because I'm sure some of you will, but I'm pretty sure. I think this one's made in Mexico. I don't know. Could be Germany. But John Deere's not all made in America. So would it be nice to keep all of our money here in this country, made in the USA? Yeah. Good luck. I mean, like I said, anything you pick up and read, it says made in China or Taiwan or Indonesia or God knows where. So, yes, it is what it is. Not everything is made in America, and not all flavors of farm equipment are made in America. They have plants all over the world. So my wife bought this bucket, some windshield cleaning soap, this fancy little long-handled, no, this is not a product review, trust me, thing with a squeegee on one side and that brush thing on the other and some chamois cloth thing. So I said, okay, we're not combining. My windows were shitty. I'll clean the combine windows. Well, it don't work worth a shit on rounded windows. I mean, I ended up taking the end off and going up there and doing that one and then wiping it down with some towels. This one's got some streaks because, you know, a squeegee doesn't bend in the middle to go around rounded corners. And those of us farmers that own combines all know the best way to do it is put your feeder house all the way up, climb down on it, and do it by hand. So I got it pretty clean. But the one thing I will say I like about this New Holland compared to the Deere is that door actually opens. Deer has a latch on it. You can open it, come right out here, clean those mirrors, which I did. Made it cleaning that door much easier. You just, well, I didn't put the computer back. You can see the slide rail it's on. I just didn't slide it back into its, position where I keep it now. But deer just had the little hammer thing there to break the window in case of emergency. But that one actually opens, which makes it kind of handy. So there's one leg up. Now, I don't know, maybe the newer deers have a door that opens there. I don't know, tell me. Mine was 7 years old or whatever, so I don't know. But they're clean enough. They'll just get shitty again, finishing up the beans, but at least now I can see on them. At least now my mirrors are clean. Okay, well, this is sitting in the shop. So it'd be like 3 videos ago, I think, where you saw us taking the feeder house off. We had the 5115 hooked up to the 3-point hitch, which is kind of a nifty idea that they made here to be able to take these off. The feeder house is sitting up, but I explained in that video, and it'll be dark in here, but that back plate in there where I'm pointing, which you can't really see because it's dark. Anyways, that plate is welded on. I had about a 2.5 minute clip that I took with my phone because I didn't have my GoPro with me that day. And I was pissed over there in the field. Where the field where you saw at the beginning of that video, 3 videos ago. I think it was 3. What the problem was, when I would raise the feeder house all the way up while everything was on, the threshing and whatnot, you could hear a thumping noise. Well, that plate, as I explained in that video, the flighting on the rotors was hitting that back plate. So it was just plain and simple made wrong, and it's welded on. So for those that have asked, well, are you going to have them get you the right plate? Well, we'd have to take the feeder house back off, cut all that welding, re-weld the new shorter plate, 1/2 inch shorter, whatever it was, I don't even remember now. Just, that's a lot of bullshit. So cutting that 1/2 inch off like we did made more sense than, trying to cut all those welds perfect, grind everything down, re-weld the new plate on, all that. So, and again, how it got effed up, I have no idea, other than, like I've said, and I'll say it again, I think the last 2 years of all the COVID bullshit has really affected quality control. I do remember now the one guy that commented something about his neighbor, I think it was, got a new John Deere 708C 8-row corn head and never even got to use it because it was screwed up so bad, gearboxes and all sorts of shit. That's what mine was a 708C, but obviously I bought it years ago, pre-COVID. So quality control was a little better. But no, we're not getting a new plate. That one's been cut. That one's fine. There'd be more work, more bullshit. But like I said, I noticed when the video came out, it was a little confusing. And then I realized there was a 2.5 minute clip from my phone that somehow my wife and I miscommunicated and didn't get put on there. So that's why I don't usually film with my phone. But so that kind of explains why you all of a sudden saw us in the field with a bunch of New Holland people, and then a minute later saw us in the shop ripping the feeder house off. Because you didn't get to see the 2.5 minutes before that explained what the problem was. Now, why that was never caught at the factory, at the dealership, I don't know. I'm not going to lay blame on people. Shit happens. Should it have been caught? Yes, I will say that. Never should have been shipped if somebody had had it running and lifted the feeder house all the way up and heard that. And if somebody shipped it knowing that was the problem, well, that person shouldn't have a job anymore. But again, quality control the past 2 years on most anything that you get these days. I don't care if it's a piece of farm equipment or what. We all know how that's been working out. So, and trying to get parts and anything else. So, but no, the answer to the questions that I've seen, we're not getting a new plate. That would be a nightmare. Tearing everything apart, cutting those welds, all that shit. No.
That plate is fine, because all it was too long, plain and simple. We cut that 1/2 inch, 3/8 of an inch, I can't remember what it was, off. That was too long. It works fine now. So there's no structural change to it. There's no, you know, there's no detriment to it doing what we did, because all we did was make the plate the right length that was supposed to be made. That's it. So, and one more thing to say on that, on those rotors in there where the flighting is, because I remember one person's comment. Yes, I do read the comments, and as you notice, I try to answer everyone, which gets hard this time of season or time of year, but I obviously do it when we have rainy days and stuff. The flighting is slotted. There's grooves, so you can loosen the bolt and move the flighting. The flighting was all the way in on the slots, so there was no moving the flighting back anymore to avoid the thumping noise. So we had to cut that distance off, that the plate was out of spec, and it was definitely out of spec according to what they all looked up on their computers and all that shit. So, and actually the flighting is supposed to be like 2 to 3 millimeters away from there's a stripper plate in there. You farmers know what I'm talking about, you non-farmers don't. I'm not going into technical details, but anyways, it was 8 millimeters away from that stripper plate. So by cutting off this, we actually could move that flighting back to where we got it, to within 3 millimeters of that stripper plate, which is a lot better than having it 8 millimeters away, especially in like beans, wheat, you know, long stemmy stuff that could go through. So there, I just wanted to add that in too, because I remembered somebody commenting about that. Alright, it's Friday, we were back at it. I just called the wife on the radio and said, please come remove this balloon that's stuck out here in the bean field. What is it? About 2:45. I'm on my 3rd time around the headlands. They're running anywhere between 13 and 14%. So after the last 4 days of shit weather in plain English. Hang on. Keep going, you will see the balloon. She didn't see the balloon. Got the trucks parked up there. There's 35 acres up here between this field, that field, and 2 other smaller ones. So if we get this done today, and then we can move down to Meridian to where we got... It's a happy birthday balloon, she said. Somebody's birthday. Their balloon ended up in our field. I didn't really want to run it through the combine. If we get done with this up here, well, like I said, we'll have just over 100 acres and about 80 of it's in one place down in Meridian. So that's a good thing, which we will head to tomorrow. Who knows, maybe even later tonight, we'll see. But the weather sounds good for the next 4 or 5 days. So we should, next 5 or 6 days actually, so we should easily be done with beans and be back to corn, which is good, because I don't hate beans, I just hate all of this. I don't know how well you can see it in the camera, the dust, because it hates me and my allergies. So that's what I hate about beans. Are getting through these washouts from this spring when we had all that rain. Hasn't been too terrible bad. Haven't had any big rocks in the washouts. Haven't had any massive pile of corn stalks. I did have that in one field. You can tell the beans are a little short on the hills from that dry stretch we had, but they're still running in high 40s, low 50s, even where it's thin, or short, I should say. And then they get back up into the 60s when we get into the flatter and lower areas. So all in all, I think I'll know more when we're done, and I'll obviously know more, well, next summer after we've sold everything and Barb can actually figure it out per weight ticket and whatnot. But I think we're going to average somewhere between 50 and 60 bushel the acre, probably between 50 and 55, which for this year, I'll take it. I will absolutely take it. Alright, we are, as you can see, it's nighttime.
My last test, 13.1. Coming out of the dryer, 13. Right now they're 14.6. They're just flying through the dryer at 70%, about 122, 123 degrees. So we're done for the day. Actually, I'm going to set you down and try to twist that a little so maybe you can actually see me while I'm talking. Okay, because I got to empty this. I forgot. So, rather than leave it sitting there. So we finished that farm. We got to move down to Meridian, a couple miles, not even, mile and a half south of us here. We're not going to do it in the dark. And Barb's got on the radio and said she was having a fried seafood platter craving. So I think we're having fried seafood platter tonight from Tassone's in Baldwinsville. So I told her go to the house, get cleaned up, order food, whatever. I'll be over. I wanted to take a couple tests. It's running perfect where it's supposed to be. So beans, like I said, today have been running between right around 14.5 pretty much. Some spots was a little drier, other spots was around the outsides with the woods was a little wetter, but like I said, we've had 4 shitty days. So today's Friday, we haven't done anything since Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday were just on and off rain, on and off rain. Yesterday it didn't rain a whole lot, but it was just cloudy, shitty, and like 45 all day. And it got up to 62 and really sunny today, so we weren't going to waste that. And this weekend, they're talking could hit 70 both days, so we're going. So we're going to end this. Don't forget to check out the Grumpy Farmer apparel, and we'll see you in the next video.